When administering controlled substances, it is important to be a diligent record keeper. An injectable dispensing record is required for every bottle of controlled substance that is used. This dispensing record is for containers that consist of only one substance, like ketamine or euthyphol. It must be documented on this record when the individual controlled substance is directly administered to an animal, or when it is combined with other controlled or non-controlled substances to create a drug mixture. Let's look at an example of a research lab utilizing the individual injectable dispensing record. The Smith lab is going to perform surgery on a group of rabbits. Their protocol states to directly administer ketamine to the rabbits as the anesthesia method. The lab currently has 4 bottles of ketamine. They will use bottle 001 today. Before they start anesthetizing the rabbits, it is important to fill out the top portion of the dispensing record. All of the information needed to complete this portion can be found on the bottle. Let's take a closer look at the bottle label as we fill out the record. The drug name is ketamine. The manufacturer is Detra. The lot number is 200400129. The bottle will expire in September of 2027. And the container size is 10 milliliters. The lab inventory number is a unique number or code that must be assigned to every bottle of controlled substance by the lab. The lab inventory number for this bottle is KET001. It is important to have every bottle of controlled substance labeled to ensure accurate identification throughout your records. The issue date is the date that the bottle of controlled substance is opened and used for the first time. Today's date is May 1, 2025. Now that the top portion is complete, the lab can begin injecting the rabbits. Follow along as they fill out the dispensing record. The first rabbit, R8244, receives 1 milliliter of ketamine. Now, let's record the required information from that usage. The date is May 1, 2025. The initial quantity in the bottle is 10 milliliters. 1 milliliter of ketamine was used, which leaves a remaining 9 milliliters in the bottle. The species is a rabbit and the animal ID is R8244. The individual that administered the shot must record their initials. Now, it's your turn to practice. The next rabbit to be anesthetized, R8245, receives 1.25 milliliters of ketamine. Pause the video and practice recording the usage. Let's check how you did. The date is May 1, the initial quantity this time is 9 mils, 1.25 mils of ketamine was used which leaves a remaining 7.75 mils. The species is rabbit and the animal's ID is R8245. The user is DRS. Great job filling in the usage. It is important to note that every animal that is injected with controlled substances must have their own entry on a dispensing record. Even though the Smith lab is anesthetizing multiple rabbits on the same day, they still need an entry for each rabbit. Once all of the rabbits were anesthetized with ketamine, the lab prepared a drug mixture of sterile water, xylazine, and ketamine that they will need for another project. For this mixture, the lab combines 8.5 milliliters of sterile water, 0.5 milliliter of xylazine, and 1 milliliter of ketamine. This usage must also be recorded on the individual injectable dispensing record. 1 milliliter of ketamine was withdrawn, leaving 1 milliliter remaining. For this usage, instead of recording rabbit, the use is to prepare the drug mixture. The lab ID of the bottle should also be recorded instead of an animal ID. When using a drug mixture, be sure to document the usage on a separate mixed injectable dispensing record. This bottle was used one last time to create another ketamine, xylazine, and water mixture. It is important that every dispensing record has a final entry that shows a balance of 0 milliliters in the bottle. Now, let's imagine that the remaining 1 milliliter expired before the lab needed to use it again. In this scenario, the ketamine must be destroyed in a way that will render it non-retrievable, like disposing of it in RX Destroyer. For a disposal entry, instead of recording the species and use, it should state that the controlled substance was disposed of in RX Destroyer. If RX Destroyer is utilized, make sure to fill out DEA Form 41. For more information on using controlled substances in research, visit drs.illinois.edu.